Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the AZ Sports Zone on the iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Alden K, back at it with another AZ Sports Zone episode. Today, for episode 21, we have a lot of depression and good news to talk about regarding Arizona sports. Obviously, we will be starting it off with the Arizona Cardinals, per usual, and their embarrassing, atrocious loss against the Minnesota Vikings. We'll talk a little bit about Kyler Murray and his second half struggles as they continue. And then, of course, the Seahawks preview for this Sunday as we take on the Seahawks for the second time in 3 weeks. And moving on from that, we'll talk about the Phoenix Suns and how they still remain a trash basketball team and how KD just got re-injured. And then, of course, we got ASU football, a lot of good news, and we will go through the Iowa State Big 12 championship game that they have tomorrow morning. Kenny Dillingham being named Big 12 Coach of the Year, Sam Levitt being named Freshman of the Year. And lastly, we'll finish off with U of A football. Brent Brennan will remain the head coach of U of A for next season, so not looking good for Wildcat fans. But once again, guys, welcome to the AZ Sports Zone on the iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Alden K. Let's have another good one. Welcome back to the AZ Sports Zone on the iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. If you guys are just now tuning in, so yeah, a lot happened this last week. Cardinals played, suffered an unfortunate loss. We'll talk about that. Obviously, we got the Suns to talk about. Kevin Durant got hurt again. Of course, ASU keeps on striving in football and basketball. We'll talk about that. And of course, U of A, it's not looking good for pretty much any of their teams. So we'll get to the U of A football team to close out this episode. And before we do that, though, guys, IE Sports Radio has been around for 10 years. Make sure to follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel at IE Sports Radio. We are growing on YouTube as well, where YouTube is pretty much used by majority of people, so make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel to catch all of our shows. And we also have the website, iesportsradio.com. Make sure to go check that out if you guys want some nice looking merch. Make sure to check out our custom pages. You guys could see mine on the ticker, but don't just check out mine, check out everybody if you guys have a chance to do that. And of course, IE Sports Radio is also available on Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio. And if you guys just miss any of our shows, you guys could pretty much just catch them on there. So that being said, you guys know the drill. We're going to go into a quick sponsor break. When we get back and when we hear a word from our sponsors, we are going to get right into the Arizona Cardinals. And also make sure to follow both Twitter accounts that I run, starting off with AZ Sports Zone IE, where I retweet a bunch of Arizona news and give you guys updates on Arizona teams. And of course, at the AZTRL, where I'm brutally honest regarding teams and rivals as well. That account is pretty much where I just talk trash. So make sure to follow both accounts, and you guys will get two different versions of me running them. So make sure to do that. But with that being said, let's go into a quick word from our sponsors. And like I said, when we get back, we'll be talking about the Arizona Cardinals and their unfortunate loss against the Vikings, 23-22. And then we'll talk about the Cardinals and Seahawks along with that as well, as we take them on at State Farm Stadium this Sunday. So the Sea Chickens come in town. So once again, you are watching the AZ Sports Zone on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back to the AZ Sports Zone on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Big shout out once again from our sponsors, Planet Jerky, Seal the Deal, Wax Seals, and of course, shout out to the IE Sports Radio every week. Always bring it up. Happy to be here once a week, guys. Very blessed to be here every Friday, even though I talk about teams that are a complete disaster. So, with that being said, oh my gosh. Let's just get into it. I want to get the Cardinals over with. Oh my God. This team, this team, this team. I don't know why. I don't know why I even. Uh, I, this team they find ways to lose. They find ways to mess everything up. What can go wrong will go wrong for every single Arizona team, and it feels like this team is the worst of it. It's like, oh my God. It You guys literally won 4 games in a row recently. What the heck happened? I mean, and they were winning. The Cardinals were winning this game until the fourth quarter. Okay, so I want to point out that we have not beaten the Vikings in Minnesota since 1977. That's the last time we beat the Vikings in Minnesota. 1977, the year my parents were born. That's the last time the Arizona Cardinals won a game in Minneapolis. Like, really? The Vikings, they're the team that own you guys? I mean, you can name so many teams that have owned the Cardinals in the past. Uh, the Panthers with Cam Newton, the Rams with Jared Goff. Um, there's a couple teams that have had the Cardinals number, but the Vikings, the only the last time we beat Minnesota was 2021 when we were a good team, but we only beat this team when it's on our home turf. The Cardinals cannot win in Minnesota, and I actually didn't know that until they had just lost the game. So coming into this game, I thought we actually had a good chance. You know, we were coming out of a bye week. Our team was getting healthier. We had just got Jonah Williams and Darius Robinson back. I thought we had a decent chance to win this game, and we were winning this game for literally until the last 75 seconds of the game. So this game falls on a lot. I still have my cough, by the way. It's lingering, so it's almost gone. So I apologize, but still, um, this game does fall on Kyler Murray. This game does fall on Jonathan Gannon in a way. I'm not going to blame the defense, and actually, I want to pray. I want to shout out the defense. The defense did all they could. I'm sorry. I know the scoreboard says 23-22, so our defense gave up 23 points. The defense can only do so much for so long. And they held the Vikings in single digits for a majority of the game. And when your defense does that, the offense has to take those opportunities. And they haven't since these last 2 games. They have not taken advantage of what the defense has given them. And we've seen it these last 2 weeks. Other than maybe Trey McBride. I want to say Trey McBride's been the only consistent part of this offense so far this season. Even James Conner has had slow games. James Conner was quiet in the first Seattle game. He didn't have the best game against Minnesota. He wasn't quiet. He wasn't loud. You know, he had a few first downs here and there. He was moving the chains. He was doing his thing. But Kyler Murray, it feels like every year we see this guy struggle in the second half of the season. And we thought it was a Cliff Kingsbury thing, which, you know, majority of it was. Cliff Kingsbury was not a good coach in the second half of an NFL season. Actually, ever since he was a college coach, he was not a good coach offensively in the second half. But to see Kyler Murray do it year in and year out, it creates some concern. He threw his first multi-interception game this season. Every other game where he threw a pick, he only had 1 interception in that game. This last game, he threw 2 picks. So it's not looking good for Kyler Murray. And the second interception was just, well, they were both stupid. The first one, he just threw it straight to Byron Murphy, which I guess it makes sense. Former Cardinal, former teammates, right? But you can't throw it at him when he's on their team. And the second pick was just so stupid. He was trying to force a 4th down conversion to Marvin Harrison, and it ended the game. So I want to talk about Jonathan Gannon, though. There was a point in the game where we were only up by 3 points. It was the drive that we were on before the Vikings scored a touchdown and took a 1-point lead. Or I don't know, maybe it was a 3-point lead or a 6-point lead, whatever we had. But instead of going for the touchdown to go up by 10 points. Yeah, we were up by 3 at that time. So instead of going for a touchdown to go up 2 possessions and pretty much seal the deal, what does Jonathan Gannon do? He kicks a field goal. We go up by 6 points. Vikings answer back with a touchdown. They go up by 1. The Cardinals have an opportunity to get a game-winning field goal, and they didn't deliver. So Jonathan Gannon, listen, for his second year, he's not doing that bad. For the amount of no-names that we have on this team, Jonathan Gannon is not doing that bad as a coach. But in order to win, you need the guy at coach. And that guy has to be good at decision-making when we need to have certain moments, making the right adjustments in the second half. That's not something I've seen Jonathan Gannon consistently do. He should have gone for it on fourth and goal. And worst case scenario, if you don't get it on 4th and goal, the Vikings are pinned all the way at their own goal line. And you're up by 3 points with not even that much time left. So worst case scenario, you don't get the touchdown on 4th and goal. You keep the Vikings back at their own 3-yard line or wherever we were at. And they don't score, we win the game because they're that far back in their own field. But no, Jonathan Gannon played it safe. He relied on our defense, which honestly, I don't blame him for relying on the defense because our defense has taken over, as the ticker says right here. The defense has stepped up since the Chargers game, all the way back in October. The first 6 games, the defense was the issue. But our defensive coordinator, Nick Rowlett, and Jonathan Gannon, they actually make adjustments. That is something our offense does not do. They stick to the same scheme over and over and over again. And they think that running the ball is going to work consistently, which with James Conner and Trey Benson, it works a lot. But that's not how you win football games. You got to get the passing game involved, which we have seen with Kyler Murray and Trey McBride. But other than that, we're not seeing really anybody. We see Michael Wilson once in the blue moon. We rarely ever see Marvin Harrison Jr. Well, he had a touchdown against the Vikings. But other than that, what good plays did he make? It's like we're not getting our receivers involved. If Trey McBride is going to be the only guy Kyler throws the ball to, defenses are going to game plan for that and take away Kyler's best weapon and force him to find other guys who were not getting involved. It's like the other receivers out there are decoys in a way. Kyler's not the offensive coordinator. I don't give a shit, whoever it is. They're not getting them involved. This offense on paper, it's not that bad. We have a good offense. We have the talent. Minus the offensive line. Other than that, we have the talent on the offense. I don't understand why Drew Petzing is not understanding. You have a wide receiver you drafted 4th overall. You're not using him. How hard is it to use him? And part of it, unless part of it is his fault for not getting open, which part of it is. But when you draft a guy 4th overall, you target him as much as you can. And yeah, of course, do what you normally do. Find Trey McBride the ball. Michael Wilson, of course. But you drafted this guy 4th overall. You're not using him. You're not using him. I don't know, man. This team is just, I don't know, but Kyler Murray, I defend the guy to death. Like, I literally defend this guy every single week. I mean, I think he's the most talented quarterback the Cardinals have ever had. I think he's been the only consistent Cardinals quarterback that we've had. That's why I defend him, right? I feel like he's the best quarterback that this team has ever had. Well, as far as talent, as far as winning, obviously Kurt Warner and Carson Palmer even has more accolades than him, but still, talent-wise, I defend Kyler Murray because I don't feel like this Vikings game was on him. This loss was on him. Okay? And wow, I'm blaming Kyler Murray. Yes. This loss was on Kyler Murray. Those two interceptions that he threw, they were both stupid. We saw it the week before too against the Seahawks. He threw a dumb pick six to Kobe Bryant, I think. Which caused us to also lose that game. So it's like, what the hell? Kyler Murray, you're in year 6, okay? And listen, his touchdown interception ratio overall this season is actually pretty good, but his picks literally come at the worst time imaginable. Like, you can't make it up. The first one, it was first down. Why are you trying to force the ball? And then the second one, it was fourth down. Dude couldn't make a couple throws. Dude forced it to a Minnesota defense just to have it picked off and end the game. I'm not saying Kyler's not clutch because he has had a lot of game-winning drives this season. He has done his part in the clutch. I think that was probably the first game where he actually choked the game away. So, Murray, you really need to pull it together for this week. Not just Kyler Murray, but the rest of the offense, aside from Trey McBride, they need to pull it together. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into this game. So yeah. Didn't we just play this team? Like, I swear to God, we did. So while I pull up the injury report, all right. So we have another date with the Seahawks. All right. Here we go. All right. So we're taking on the Seahawks at State Farm Stadium, and I will be at the game. So I will be at the game. The last time I went to a game where the Cardinals won was 2021, which was the last time we were a good team, right? So with that being said, hopefully I'm not a curse when I go to Cardinal games. I know there's going to be more Seahawk fans than Cardinals fans there because Cardinal fans are fair weather. They only show up when the team is actually above 500 by a margin. And I know there's too many Seahawk fans that live in Arizona for some random weird reason. So I know there's going to be more Seahawk fans there than Cardinal fans. And it sucks. I mean, I swear, it Cardinal fans are just dumb sometimes. But anyway, so yeah, we lost to this team the last time we played them in Seattle. So really, we really got to get it together for this game. I feel like this game, we're playing with our season on the line right here. I feel like if the Seahawks sweep us, they go ahead of us by 2 games in the division, it's a wrap. I think it's a wrap. Even though I feel like our schedule is easy after this game, we got the Patriots, we got the Panthers, and then we got the Rams, and then we got the Niners, even though those 2 are division games. Rams and Niners have fallen off just a slightly bit. I know that the Rams have the same record as us, and the Niners are in the bottom of the barrel right now in the division. So Patriots and Panthers both should be wins, but both teams have been playing somewhat competitive lately, so even those could be trap games. You never know. But as far as the injury report for the Seahawks and Cardinals, so for the Cardinals, we only have 2 players that are questionable, and that is Dante Stills, which is big, and Naquan Jones. Other than that, we may have other people playing unless there's a late game scratch or injury that we don't know about. And then for the Seahawks, Jaron Reed unspecified, Brady Russell unspecified, Kenneth Walker is questionable. That could be big. Michael Dixon questionable, Ernest Jones unspecified, Zach Carbonet unspecified, and then same thing with Noah Fant and Kobe Bryant. So other than that, So this is looking like a pretty clean game as far as injuries go, for the most part at least. Only a couple guys are on defense are questionable for us. Other than that, we will be healthy and good to go. So last time we played this team, we couldn't score. We scored 2 field goals. The Seahawks offense didn't really do anything either. Uh, 7 of their points were from a pick six, so technically their offense did not score a touchdown either. So it was a field goal fest for both offenses in that game. So if you guys know the history of the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks, minus these last 2 years when we were actually terrible and Seattle swept us because we were a terrible team and because Matt Prater couldn't make a field goal. Aside from those 2 years, we tend to split with this team quite a bit. And normally it is us beating them in Seattle, which this year that wasn't the case. And then normally it's them beating us in Arizona. We have not, I don't think we've beaten the Seahawks in Arizona since 2020 when Tyler's second year when Russell Wilson was still there. I think that's the last time we beat them in Arizona. So it's coming on 4 years since we beat them in State Farm Stadium, which isn't a good sign. I tend to like to say every time I go to the Seahawks and Cardinals games, I'm going to a Seahawks game, okay? I mean, come on. The Seattle fans there, they always flood the hell out of our stadium. Cardinal fans are fair weather, okay? I kind of can't blame them just because our team sucks year in and year out. And I feel like people get tired of it at some point. But me, you guys know me, I'm a real fan. I go to 2 games a year. Um, at least 2 games a year, sometimes 3, maybe 4 if I'm lucky. Well, not lucky, but you get what I mean. Um, so when I go to the game, I'm gonna do my usual. I'm gonna do my usual when I go to the game this weekend. I'm gonna tailgate with my family. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with just the fans there. Get to bond with some people like I always do. Go inside the stadium, get some food, be ready to go, and get ready for a loss. That's how it normally is when I go to a game. And I do have us losing this game. Listen, I'm sorry. Unless our offense responds, unless our offense could actually deliver when our defense gives them opportunities, we're not beating the Seahawks. And it sucks because I genuinely don't think the Seahawks are a good team. I really don't think they're a good team. I don't think they have a good quarterback either. The Seahawks are just the better team right now, okay? They suck. We suck even more. At least as of lately. That's how it looks. I mean, division is still up for grabs. But for us, I feel like that our season is on the line for this week. I think if we lose this game, we're done. Our playoff hopes are done. We focus on to next offseason. We hopefully our owner spends money on a defense. Hopefully Jonathan Gannon learns from his mistakes this season, takes it into year 3. Kyler Murray going into year 7. Oh my gosh. Year 7 still hasn't won a playoff game yet. Can you believe that? I feel like this team just wants to be mid for my entire life. So, but listen, this season so far has been a big improvement from the last 2 seasons. That's not saying much. We won 4 games the last 2 years, but this team started off pretty good at 6-4. They were in the playoff hopes for a while. They were leading the division for a while. So we're obviously going in the right direction so far. We're doing something right. Monty Austinfort came to this team to clean up a huge mess that Steve Keim left him before he retired as the GM. So I trust Monty completely to build this team. If we don't make the playoffs this year, that's fine. We weren't supposed to make the playoffs this year. Nobody thought that we were going to make the playoffs this year. If we do make the playoffs, then that's just a big plus. We'll probably be first round exits, but you guys get what I mean. So, but for the fans that want to make the playoffs, and I want to make the playoffs too, but in order to do that or even have a chance of doing that, they have to win this week. They have to beat Seattle this week and get that 3rd division win, get the tiebreaker against Seattle, and focus on the Patriots, Panthers, Rams, and Niners after that and finish the season strong. That's what it's going to take to make the playoffs. We got to win this week, though. Big time. We got to win this week. If not, then I personally feel like our chances are very gone. So, with that being said, that is it for the Cardinals. We will go into a excuse me, a quick break. When we get back, we'll talk about how bad the Phoenix Suns are and how Kevin Durant got injured again. And then we will talk about ASU football. Finally, a good Arizona team. ASU is actually doing something nice. So when we get back, we'll talk about the Suns and ASU. Once again, you're listening to the AZ Sports Zone on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
It's IE Sports Radio. It is your direct feed for all that is sports. It is Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris every Tuesday night right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris is the most comprehensive view on Philadelphia sports exclusively right here on IE Sports Radio. You know what it is, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tuesday night, IE Sports Radio, Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back to the AZ Sports Zone on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Alden K. So we just covered the Arizona Cardinals and how big of a dumpster fire they are. So once again, a big shout out to Mike and Cash and Chris. Make sure to go check out their shows as I just played their video drops. Make sure to check out everyone else's shows as well. We got a bunch of good people that will give you some good updates on their team from pretty much anywhere. So make sure to go check it out. But with that being said, I'm just getting the bad teams out of the way first. Like these teams just, gosh, albeit like I always say this to my friends, to my family. If you guys know me personally, I'll always tell you this. I will be like 70 years old in a wheelchair with Alzheimer's, not remembering my name, and none of these teams will still win a championship by then. That's what I signed up for. Okay, so it's my fault. So. But with that being said, speaking of trash teams, so the Suns remain trash. Yep, that's what the ticker says. The Suns remain terrible. I don't know, man. And a mind-blowing stat for you guys. The Phoenix Suns are 1-7 without Kevin Durant. So the Suns just lost to the Pelicans, who I believe were dead last in the West at that time. Um, they didn't have Zion, Ingram. They had C.J. McCollum, I think, and Herb Jones, but that was about it. And the Suns lost to that team. I keep dying over here, but anyway. All we were missing was Kevin Durant. Dude, I swear. So Devin Booker has fallen off. I mean, I don't know what happened to Devin Booker. I mean, it just feels like he's not the Devin Booker that we used to know and love. I don't understand why. Our owner gave Devin Booker whatever the hell he wanted. You got Kevin Durant, you got Bradley Beal, you got this big ass contract. That's what you wanted. You basically got the keys to Phoenix for your entire life. We gave you this team. Matt Ishbia, he basically gave you this team. Even the owner before that gave you Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, DeAndre Ayton before he turned soft. I mean, this organization gave Devin Booker anything you could possibly ask for. And how does he repay us? He's not playing good whatsoever. That's what he's given this team and this fan base in return. He's not living up to expectations. He's getting locked down on defense. He's not scoring as efficiently as he used to anymore. It's like he's the number 2 of this team now when he should be the number 1. It feels like when KD plays, that is when we are good. But when KD is out, it's almost like we're back to the 2018 Phoenix Suns. And if you were a Suns fan in 2018, you knew how painful that shit was. So, and it sucks. It sucks to see this. Devin Booker, you're my favorite Phoenix Sun of all time. My most favorite. Yes, more than Steve Nash, more than Stoudemire. But it's like you just lost your identity. And I don't know how. Like, I just don't. It's like he just fell off a cliff. I don't know how else to put it. Kevin Durant is really our best player right now. It should be Devin Booker, but it's not. And Kevin Durant is 36 years old. He doesn't have a lot of good years left in him. So if KD is going to be our number 1 with this current team, we don't have that much longer left to win. You could kiss our. I mean, I don't think we had championship chances to begin with this season, but still, any slight chance that we had, any stupid big chance that Suns fans praised this team to have, you can kiss those chances goodbye if Kevin Durant is going to be our best player for years to come. And those years aren't even years. They're, if anything, it's like 2 or 3 good years left until Kevin Durant is, becomes washed, even more injury prone than he already is, and retires. So with that being said, Devin Booker, you need to bounce back. There's no other way to put it. See, and we have the talent on this team. I don't know how we got Miami tomorrow. So we have the Heat tomorrow. So we're actually in Florida for 2 games. We got Miami, and then we got Orlando. I'm not sure if they still don't have Paolo Banchero. And then we got Utah and Portland. Those 2 should be wins, especially because we'll be getting KD back for those games. And then we got Indiana, Detroit. So I just don't get why this. I don't get how this team starts off 8-1 and now they're like what 12-9 or something like that. I don't know, man. It's so bad. This team is just so bad right now. I don't know how to put it. And New Orleans is a team that Devin Booker normally owns. This dates back to 2022. Normally Booker owns this team. Not this time. Of course not. Why would he? He sucks. And you got Pelican fans. I don't know why they're talking trash. Oh my gosh, they're still mad that we beat them in 2022. It's so funny. But anyway. So KD will miss the next 2 games with that ankle sprain. He did get injured again in the Golden State game where the Suns actually won. So I don't know why we keep beating the good teams and losing to the shit teams. I don't know how and I don't know why, but KD will be out for the next 2 games and he will be back for the Utah game pretty soon. So a little short topic on the Suns, not much talking about there. Suns are just trash and always will be for as long as I live. So we're going to go into another quick break. I know I've done 2 quick breaks, but when we come back, we will talk about ASU football and U of A. Let's save the good teams for well, not U of A. Let's save the good team for last. That's what we're going to do for these last 20 minutes. So when we come back, we will talk about that. So with that being said, once again, guys, you're watching the AZ Sports Zone on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hello, sports fans. It's me, your boy Larry B, and I want to walk you through the world of sports. No, not just the mainstream major TV deal type sports, although those are important too. But let me be your guide for your journey of all sports, from college to the pros, the minors, and everything in between. Each week, we are talking sports galore with true diehards just like you from a hardcore fan's perspective that's sure to quench your thirst around leagues you may know all too well and some you may even discover here. That's right, sports fans. If you love sports of all kinds, enjoy hearing amazing sports stories, and respect all sports because you know how difficult any of them can be to play or compete in, then this is your show. Join me, your boy Larry B, on the defining moment each week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports, and let the sports come to you.
Welcome back to the AZ Sports Zone on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all of that is sports. just dropped Larry's show, The Defining Moment, and Adam's show, Chi-Town Weekly. Make sure to check out both of their shows. Man, Adam, if you're listening, I'm so sorry for your Bears, man. It must suck watching your division have double-digit wins damn near, and poof, man, it just sucks. But as Larry said, let's get to college because I am finally happy to be an Arizona State Sun Devils fan. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of this team, man. You guys have no idea. Man, this team is just so fun to watch. There's no other way to put it. They're just a fun team to watch. It's I always like watching ASU in the past has been just like any other Arizona team that you would expect. You just know what's coming. But this team, who would have thought we would have won the Territorial Cup by 42 points against U of A, our biggest rival? And who would have thought we'd be playing for a Big 12 championship in our first year in the Big 12? Who would have thought of that? Because I didn't think of that. I don't know if y'all thought of that, because I didn't. And I like to say I know my team's better than most people. So this ASU versus U of A game I watched from beginning to end. Also, geez, I haven't got to the chat. What's up, Chad? What's up, Ralph? I saw a little bit of your show earlier. Nice show with you and Larry. Yep, having a great show so far. And yes, Hines Ward, man. Hines Ward has really turned around Jordan Tyson, our wide receiver one. Hines Ward has had a lot to do with how he has taken a big step this season for the Sun Devils. So this ASU and U of A game, from beginning to end, I knew it was going to happen on that first drive. Cam Scatabo had an incredible first half with 3 touchdowns, maybe 4 if I forgot one. I don't know. It was that good that I can't even remember how many touchdowns he had. Sam Levitt's throws were on point. I'll get to Jordan Tyson in a second because the news is very heartbreaking. But they pretty much just kicked U of A's ass. I mean, there's not really much else to say. U of A, the only time they ever scored was to open up the second half. Other than that, ASU's defense was on point from beginning to finish. This coaching staff, Kenny Dillingham, this entire team, from the quarterback all the way to the punter, whatever you want to call it, this team did their job. We are ranked 15th right now currently, and we have a big game tomorrow for the Big 12 championship and to go to the playoffs. I can't remember the last time. I don't even think I was watching college football the last time I saw ASU the last time we saw ASU in the playoffs. I really don't think so. It would be very nice to see an Arizona team at least get to a playoffs, aside from the Suns, because we all know how they choke. Same thing with the Diamondbacks, and we know the Cardinals will never get to the postseason. So it'd be nice to see a new team in there, kind of see how they are in the playoffs. I don't have high expectations for ASU. I do think they'll win the Big 12 championship. All points and odds are looking like they will win the Big 12 championship unless just Iowa State plays a big upset. But I was kind of hoping we played Colorado in the Big 12 championship, but obviously BYU ended up beating Houston, which ended up being the deciding factor for ASU playing Iowa State. And BYU's victory also helped us get into it as well. So at the end of the day, I'll take it. We're in the Big 12 championship now. Okay, enough of this U of A game because this game was a massacre. There's nothing good to talk about if you're a U of A fan. So ASU was in the Big 12 championship for the first time since not Big 12, but championship game since 2014, I believe. So we got a lot to play for. This is the biggest game of the season that we've played so far. This is the first time ever in ASU's existence that they will play a football game against Iowa State. So we never see this team ever until tomorrow. That's the first time we'll ever play this team. Iowa State and ASU are pretty similar regarding rankings. I'm pretty sure ASU is slightly above Iowa State. They are 15th, and I think Iowa State might be 18th or something like that. So this is a very similar game regarding rankings. But one thing I want to point out is a shadow of darkness. All my topics are on the tickers, guys, in case you can't tell. Jordan Tyson, our star wide receiver, is out for the year. So yes, he got injured against U of A. He's out for the year. This really hurts a lot. He led all college receivers in yards since approximately week 7. So, a lot of people talk about Cam Scatabo and, that's it, just the running back. That's all people think about when you think of ASU. But Sam Levitt to Jordan Tyson, that duo was always underrated. 70% of Sam Levitt's throws went to Jordan Tyson, so that takes away his best weapon to throw to. So obviously this hurts. It said he was out indefinitely. There wasn't an actual timeline on when he would be back. So for all we know, it could transfer into next season, depending on how bad his injury is. We don't know exactly. So, geez, my phone keeps going off. All right. So yeah, Jordan Tyson is out for the rest of the season, which really sucks. So now that he is out for the year, I would expect a lot of Cam Scatabo for this Iowa State game. If you're Iowa State, you really should be game planning for Cam Scatabo right now. If you want to have any chance of beating this team, you got a game plan for him. So, and force Sam Levitt to throw to his other receivers that we don't really see him throw the ball to as much and as efficiently. So, if you're an Iowa State fan, you better hope you shut down Cam Scatabo for this game. Because, man, he's out there putting up Derrick Henry numbers. Yes, I went that far because he is. He's the reason we're here right now. And whichever team drafts Cam Scatabo, you guys are going to have a hell of a backfield. Whichever NFL team gets his hands on him, you guys are going to have one hell of a backfield. That's all I got to say. So, a couple shout-outs to a couple ASU members of the team. A couple shout-outs. Kenny Dillingham was named a Big 12 Coach of the Year. Hands down, well-deserved. Well-deserved. Coming off of a 3-win season, no one thought that this team was going to get 10 wins. But Kenny Dillingham turned this team around. And, man, it came so soon. I was not expecting him to do it in year 2, to be honest with you. I did not think we had the proper team assembled to do it this year. But we did. Kenny Dillingham led this team to an amazing season. ASU is ranked again. We're ranked again. That alone is a big improvement. Let's keep building off of that. Win this Big 12 championship tomorrow at 10 a.m. Arizona time. Win this Big 12 championship. Go to the playoffs. Even if you get... God, these teams got me dying over here. But even if you get your ass kicked in this playoff game, still a big improvement compared to last year when you won 3 games and finished last place in the Pac-12. A dead conference now. So even if you finish last this season alone, what we've done so far, what this team has done so far, has been a very big improvement. And I'm here for the future teams, baby. I'm here to watch it. Like I said, big shout out to Kenny Dillingham. What a great hire that was, an ASU alumni. He was the coordinator in Oregon when they had Herbert, I believe, or Bo Nix, whatever. Or, yeah, Bo Nix. So, big shout out to Kenny Dillingham turning this team around, and will continue to keep it going for as long as he is the coach of ASU. Another shout out. Sam Levitt was named Freshman of the Year. I don't know the exact award. I think it was Big 12 Freshman of the Year or something like that. So big shout out to Sam Levitt. Obviously, we talk about the MVP of this team has been Cam Scadabo. But Sam Levitt, whenever Scadabo doesn't have his hands on the ball, made efficient plays. He was injured a little bit this season. He was out for a game. But he was able to come back and deliver and lead this team as a freshman. As a freshman, guys, we have this guy for the next 3 years. His father came out and made a statement and said that he is not transferring. He is staying put at ASU. He wants to win at ASU. So, as a freshman, he's led this team to potentially the NCAA playoffs if we beat Iowa State, which we should, and we will see what happens. But Sam Levitt, big shout out. He's done his job this season. He's going to keep doing his job for these next few years to come, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, big shout out to Sam Levitt and Kenny Dillingham for winning those awards. Well timed, big deserved. So, to close out this episode, let's talk about one topic regarding U of A. So U of A season just wrapped up last week because they took an embarrassing loss against ASU. And it was reported that Brent Brennan will stay head coach of the U of A Wildcats going into next season. Wildcat fans, tell me how you feel, man. Man, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine having to deal another year with Brent Brennan. And listen, I know he hasn't been the coach of U of A for a very long time, but coming into this season, they were ranked 20th or in the top 20. They were ranked in the top 20 coming into this season after being ranked last year. Yeah, and look at this. Brent Brennan comes in, completely destroys the team. They only won 4 games this year. Not looking good for U of A. As long as Brent Brennan is U of A's coach, U of A's not going to win anything. And I know U of A fans are impatient with this guy, and I can't blame them. I would be impatient too. After the season that U of A had before, you can't have this kind of season, this kind of disappointment. Ever since that first game of the season when they struggled against New Mexico, I knew, U of A is not, they're not going to be the same team. But listen, if you're a U of A fan, you should probably just wait until this guy gets fired. It's not going to look good for you guys for as however long this guy is your coach. Okay, that's just how it is. He's just not a good coach. Oh my god, terrible. All right, but U of A, hopefully your basketball team bounces back because, your football team is what a disappointment they were this year, big time. But ASU's got a lot to play for tomorrow morning. I will be watching the game before I go to work, so hopefully I'm not going to work depressed. Hopefully I'm going there knowing that the ASU Sun Devils will be playing in the college football playoffs for 2024. So, with that being said, guys, we've almost hit the 1 hour mark. I want to thank you guys for stopping by for episode 21. And as Ralph says, go ASU. But when we come back next Friday, we will be talking about the Arizona Cardinals post game against the Seahawks. I'll give a preview of the Patriots game the following week. We'll talk about the Phoenix Suns a little bit more as well. Hopefully they bounce back a week from today. Hopefully we get some Diamondback news as well regarding Christian Walker or Jock Peterson, whoever they decide to bring back. Hopefully ASU comes out with a victory, and hopefully they continue it in basketball. ASU's been going strong. We'll talk about that a lot more next week. Same thing with U of A basketball. I want to try to throw some NAU or GCU basketball in there too, kind of keep it updated with all the other Arizona colleges. We'll try to talk about that a little bit more as well. But once again, guys, I really do appreciate you guys stopping by here for episode 21. You guys know the drill. Every Friday, 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hopefully I'm going live actually at 1 o'clock next week. We will see. I really do appreciate it, though, for the people that came on here. Let's hope for a better weekend of Arizona sports. Hopefully the Cardinals bounce back. Once again, I will be at the game, and I can't wait. I'll be there with family, so hopefully the Cardinals do me a favor and win a game, because that would be amazing. To beat the Seahawks in attendance, that would be beautiful. Once again, guys, thank you guys for stopping by. My name is Alden K. I will be back at it next Friday. Have a great weekend. Best of luck to your teams, except for the Seahawks and except for Iowa State. And we are out of here. Have a good